で、福島の高校生をドイツに連れていくプロジェクトが2013年に始まって、寄付が集まらなくて2014年できなかったり、コロナ禍でできなかったことがあったりしたんですけど、今回の高校生たちが第10回目になります。
Es gab manche Fälle, die er konnte nicht die Schüler nach Deutschland bringen, weil wegen der finanziellen Situation oder auch die Corona-Situation. Aber dieses Mal ist 10. Projekt.
第8回目の時に高校生だった子がボランティアで4年おっちゃんが今ボランティアで来てくれています、私は。
Also er hat teilgenommen am 8. Projekt.
彼女は2017年の時の高校生で今ドイツの通訳まで頑張ってくれている渡辺美さんです。
Also ich habe teilgenommen in 2017 und hier bin ich zu unterstützen.
このままいろんなちょっと福島の話とかアースオーガの話を紹介したいんですけど、僕の話いつも長くなってしまうので、一旦これぐらいで終わって高校生の話に変わっていきたいと思います。
Also er möchte darüber mehr und mehr sprechen, aber seine Talk ist zu lang immer, so deswegen jetzt wir geben das zu Schüler und Schülerinnen und sie machen ihre Speeches.
ありがとうございます。
Vielen Dank.
1人目、今日もまゆみさん紹介します。
Hello,
Hallo.
I'm Maimi. I am 17 years old. I like comic books. Do you like Japanese anime? Oh wow, there are many people who like anime. I am so happy. I was 3 years old when the Greatest Japan earthquake occurred. My parents just decided to evacuate. We moved from some place to place. We moved to Yamagata, a neighboring prefecture, and lived in an evacuation shelter for a long time. I felt very lonely because my father could not evacuate with us due to work. I remember fighting with my mother almost every day while we were in Yamagata, oversleeping, not doing my homework, coming back home late, not helping mother, fighting with my sister. For my mother, it was very hard to raise children by herself, and I felt very lonely because I didn't see my father. My mother and I felt missing something. I punched my mother, and my mother punched me twice. Once, I went outside without shoes to run away from home, but I didn't have anywhere to go, so I stayed on the bike parking lot. After 5 years, we returned to Fukushima. We could live with my father again. We could meet my grandparents a lot. The fighting between my mother and I decreased. I was happy. But I witnessed the reality of Fukushima. One problem is the radiation dose. The closer to the ground, the higher the radiation, which is a more serious problem for those of us who are shorter. One day, my mother had one of her friends check the radiation level on the way to school. We put a radiation checker on the stroller and check the radiation level at the highest 10 cm, 15 cm, and 100 cm from ground, which are to the face level of small children. The radiation levels are relatively higher in gutters and on sidewalk. So I'd run in the middle of the street when there were no cars. Because of this situation, my parents allowed us to go on various retreats. Yamagata, Miyagi, Inawashiro, Oita, Kumamoto, Okinawa, even abroad, Italy, and Germany this time. I could have good memories. I could have all kind of experiences, which I couldn't in Fukushima. I am second high school student now. Last month, I participated in a high school student summit organized by earth workers. Students from Osaka and Fukushima took part in field work in Fukushima. I was glad to hear that they were still checking the radiation level of all the bags of brown rice. We toured Okuma town by bus. The houses were surrounded by fences and seemed uninhabitable. Gardens were neglected. When I say then, I thought that Fukushima had not recovered yet. I live in Fukushima and have learned about the nuclear power plant accident. However, I don't notice the fact if I had not joined the field work. Even high school students in Fukushima don't know those facts unless they have an opportunity like this. High school students outside of Fukushima don't learn about the nuclear power plant at school, and they cannot see it for themselves, so they likely don't know that the plant is still dangerous and the plant still exists. From these experiences, I think nuclear power plants, which divide families, should be abolished. I can't stand that the Japanese government has restarted a nuclear power plant or is even trying to build new ones. I think Japan is doing this to decrease carbon dioxide emissions. However, I hear that Germany has achieved a society without nuclear power plants. I came to learn how Germany generates electricity without relying on nuclear power. I want to share what I have learned here with people in Japan, and I want to help Japan to achieve a nuclear-free society. Take a look at this anime because it is about the current situation in Japan. Thank you.
Hello,
Hello.
my name is Kotoka. Please call me Kitty or Kochan. I do things at my own pace, so I often finish my assignments at the last minutes and act slowly. My teachers sometimes worry about me. By the way, I love animals and I have 2 dogs and a cat. And I also like Korean TV program. So if you like them too, please talk to me. I had never thought about nuclear power. 14 years had passed since the Great East Japan earthquake.
Maybe I thought somewhere I can't think about such difficult things. I might have also thought nothing would change even if I did. However, I had a chance that changed my perspective last year. It was interacting with German students in Fukushima. Where it's a rare chance to meet with foreign people, and do we have to talk in English? I wonder what they are like. I felt both excited and nervous. I was looking forward to meeting them. But when I actually met them in person, they were more energetic than I had imagined. And I was overwhelmed by their willingness to speak up. Moreover, they told me we are interested in renewable energy. At that moment, I panicked. And I thought, wait, I only know the word. I can't follow the conversation at all. After that, I visited the disaster-stricken area and the hydrogen energy laboratory with them, learning about the Great East Japan earthquake and next generation energy. Actually, it was my first time visiting a disaster area. There, I saw an elementary school still in ruins from the tsunami and a ghost town. No people, no cars, nothing but silence. I was speechless. Even though I live in the same prefecture, I knew nothing about the disaster. During that time, the German high school students actively expressed their opinions and be about during that time, the German high school students actively expressed their opinions about the current situation and were not afraid to speak out. And they asked, what can we do? What is important to prevent the same thing from happening again? They had their own strong opinions and were not afraid to speak out. And yet, I was in high school just like them. And yet, our ways of thinking were so different. I was so shocked. From this experience, I strongly felt that I wanted to have my own opinions and be someone who can speak up. Abolish nuclear power plants. My opinion was that nuclear power should be abolished and At that moment, I realized that there are different values and perspectives. Through the discussion, I learned importance of respecting diverse opinions. And I also realized the importance of three things: knowing, learning, communicating. Seeing the German high school students, I learned the importance of acting with courage. To participate in this project, I did everything I could to ask for help, even after the deadline had passed. Thanks to the support of many people, I'm able to stand here today. I'm truly grateful. My goal is to never forget the importance of connecting with people, to think carefully about things, and to take action. Taking action may come with uncertainty and difficulties. If you don't act, nothing will change. If you are hesitating to start something, I encourage you to take a step forward with courage. Don't think it's just a small thing. Just give it a try. Thank you for listening. Everyone.
マイクどこ行っちゃうの？
ちょっと待ってね。
日本で聞いてる方がこれねっていう。
something to be afraid of. So I became anxious. When I went to visit my mother after her surgery, I found that her neck was strongly fixed, so that she couldn't move, and I was filled with worry. Then I wondered if she wouldn't get well because I have never seen her in such a painful appearance. Perhaps my mother was really tough. In contrast with me, my mother was very cool and looked forward to the future. A few years later, when I was in junior high school, we were having dinner at my grandmother's house. Then we saw the news about the compensation for the nuclear accident. As if remembering suddenly, everyone in my family started talking about the time my mother had thyroid cancer. They seemed to consult to the local government. They couldn't get the money. When I heard about this story for the first time, I thought it was a good thing. They spoken up their opinions to the local government. Currently, Fukushima Prefecture is giving money who were under 18 years old at the time of the nuclear accident and had thyroid cancer. I believe that it is thanks to the people who raised their voices. If there had been no opinions, we would not have considered anything as a problem. If there had been no opinions, nothing would have changed. I think about it, our family's opinion could have one of the bridges to such a project. And everything, if you only think about it and keep it in your mind, but do not speak up, nothing will have changed. I have felt this very strongly. Since I was a child, I have not good at expressing my opinions. For example, I play with my friends. There are things I want to do, but I'm too afraid of being disliked to say anything. It is hard for me in that kind of situation. That's why, because I was like this, I know it is important to say opinions. To be honest, I still have not good at expressing my opinions, but I want to be able to say it. The reason I feel this way because of the earthquake and my mother's cancer. A few days ago, I went to Arahama Elementary School in Miyagi Prefecture, which is a memorial of the earthquake. Everyone who evacuated was saved, but the town was desolate. When I watched a video of the evacuees at the elementary school, most of them said, "Our everyday life has suddenly been destroyed. That's why I decided to live every day to the fullest of my life." And my mother also said, "I don't think I wouldn't get the cancer, so I was in a hurry. That's why I decided to live every day to the fullest of my life." We felt gratitude, happiness, sadness, or frustrations. These are things. These are feelings that cannot be expressed without words. What I want to do, what I don't want to do, cannot be told unless I put them into words. Of course, I feel this. I feel this moment is only this moment. I believe that we humans, that the reason we humans have words is to communicate. That's why I want to be able to communicate in words through this trip to Germany. Actually, I lost my father in a car accident when I was 3 years old. I have no memory of my father at all. My father brought me into this world. My father raised me warmly until then. However, I couldn't express my gratitude because I was too young at that time. So now that I can put them into words, now that I can tell them, I want to put it into words and tell them. If you sympathize with my story, please try to express your feelings in words. In particular, you should tell your gratitude as soon as you feel it. I hope that the world will be a place where people can speak their opinions to each other, not to hurt anyone, but to communicate their own intentions. Thank you very much for listening my speech.
Hello.
Hmm.
My name is Asahi Ouchi. I'm 16 years old. I'm from Fukushima City. Do you know about Fukushima? I have few memories of the time of the earthquake. However, I have a faint memory of my house shaking violently. The earthquake alarm sound coming from the smartphones, the creaking sound, and holding on desperately to the legs of my desk to protect myself. For me, the Great East Japan earthquake was a trauma itself. The earthquake had a great impact on our lives. Many people were saddened. We cannot stand still in our grief. We must move forward. What can I do to move forward? That is what I keep thinking about. I believe Fukushima sweet apples are the best in the world. The apples are so big that they are bigger than my hand. The inside of the apple is almost overflowing with golden honey-like juice. They are super crunchy. I feel refreshed when I eat these apples. I grew up on these apples. So I believe that Fukushima apples are the best in the world. However, Fukushima apples have been thrown away. The farmers have suffered from the bad rumors for 4 years since 2011. Last year, when I was in the third grade of junior high school, I heard a story from a farmer in my class. At the time, the apples he worked so hard to produce did not sell at all. He was criticized by many people who told him that his apples were exposed to radioactive, dirty, and that they would be better off buying fruit from other prefectures. He almost was heartbroken. He showed us some pictures. I was shocked, by one picture. It is a picture of hundreds of discarded apples, piles and piles of apples that should have been eaten. But because of bad rumors, they can no longer be sold. The farmer's voice was trembling. I was too far away to see his face, but I could hear the frustration and anger in his voice. It was hard for me to listen to him. I can't imagine how hard it must have been for him. I have no memories of the time of the disaster. But what can I do to move forward? What can I do for my hometown? I want to tell more and more people about the charm of Fukushima. I want to clear up misunderstandings in order to eliminate harmful rumors. I want to tell people to know the real Fukushima. Fukushima has rich nature, beautiful cherry blossoms and autumn leaves, and the best food in the world. I love my hometown Fukushima. I love Fukushima apples. I want you to eat Fukushima sweet apples too. Thank you for listening.
Hi. Hi, I'm Maika. I'm student of Fukushima. I don't have memories of the Great East Japan earthquake because I was just 2 years old. Fortunately, our family and relatives didn't live in coastside, so we didn't lose any loved ones, and our houses were not washed away by the tsunami. Compared to that, the kind of damage that we suffered was small. So we evacuated to another prefecture several months. However, I don't have memory of those days. Actually, I am a victim of the Great East Japan earthquake. But in my mind, I felt I was not a victim. At the time of the accident, children in Fukushima were at the risk of health problem due to radiation. So, thyroid tests and full body counters were conducted. The tests are usually conducted while we are studying at school. So, at that time, I was an elementary student. I remember being happy because I could skip class. Also, during thyroid tests, a lot of partitions set up in the gym, and the beds were lined up to make the gym. Looks like a hospital. So I had a different feeling because it was very different from my usual view of the gym. I had jelly applied to my throat. The jelly was cool, and I felt good. For the full body counter, a large bus came to the school, and we are tested in it. I hated this test because I must be in a small space and must not move for a long time during the test. But inside the bus, it was very interesting and exciting because there are an air conditioner.
Because the amount of radiation the body is exposed to. When I was in kindergarten, I used to carry a glass badge on my bag. When I was in kindergarten, I didn't know what a glass badge was. Not clear if you got nuclear accident or not. I feel 14 years may be too long, but I know that 14 years may be too short for radiation data. Many things have changed in Fukushima. At first glance, we can see that we have recovered. But I don't think we can say that we have recovered until this test is over. And we conclude that there is nothing wrong with us.
to be found.
Thank you for your attention.
Great East Japan earthquake happened. Earthquake, tsunami, and nuclear power plant have changed Fukushima. Especially, I was limited to play outside because of the influence of the radiation. Due to the Great East Japan earthquake, Fukushima was damaged. But while Fukushima was discriminated against, there are also many volunteers who live in Japan and overseas. They accepted to make opportunities for Fukushima children to play outside actively and freely as part of the disaster recovery efforts. Volunteers didn't know where Fukushima was and they didn't know anyone in Fukushima. They made a lot of efforts to ensure that children from Fukushima could play freely outside again without fear of radiation. I still have a lot of painful memories in my mind. The earthquake is a bad memory, but if it didn't happen, I couldn't have met the people who helped us. I took part in projects sometimes for Fukushima children, and I encountered many volunteers from within Japan and overseas. They played with me at the evacuation site. Many people helped us. Thanks to their work and support, we felt better. We could like other ordinary kids and enjoy life. I'm very grateful to them. I learned from the news that areas along the sea were severely damaged. Their hardships cannot be compared to my experience. When I think about the earthquake, the giant tsunami comes to mind. The giant tsunami was 30 meters tall. I had never seen the ocean before. The first time I saw the ocean, it was an image of an ocean that had taken many homes and people's lives. It was the first time I had ever seen the ocean. I was sad. I was confused. I didn't want to believe it. I learned that the ocean is dangerous and frightening. My image of the sea is black, and it stole the lives of many people. I still think about that today and how the ocean deprived Fukushima citizens' life. Now, people can enter the sea, but I'm still scared and feel terrible, and I don't want to go to the sea. The Sea of Fukushima was originally beautiful, but I have not been to the sea yet. It's as if I can hear the voices of the people swallowed by the sea. When I see a video footage of the giant tsunami, tears well up in my eyes, and I am reminded of that time. However, 12 years later, I had an experience that overturned my negative image of the ocean. I went to Australia with the organization as workers. I saw the Great Barrier Reef there, a World Heritage Site. It was a beautiful, unpolluted ocean. It was different to the ocean I had imagined. Generally, people learn about the threats of an ocean after they realize its beauty. Until then, I only saw the threats of the ocean, but visiting the Great Barrier Reef to help me to realize the beauty of the ocean. I was impressed that the sea is very beautiful because it is crystal clear. it is a World Heritage Site. I would like to expand my experience in Germany. Germany is highly eco-conscious and active, and they introduced no nuclear power generation policy to bring eco-friendly energy. Their aim for 100% renewable energy by 2035. I want to know about the difference between people's common sense in Japan and Germany. I want to find new value and widen my potential. After returning to Japan, I would like to share my way of thinking and my experience. The trip to Germany. Thank you for listening.
Hello. My name is Rico. I'm 17 years old. One experience has greatly broadened my perspective. It was a wonderful time. In the last 2 years, 2 times for 1 week, German high school students have come to stay at my house. One was an 18 years old, and the other was a 17 years old high school girl. We have a lot to talk about. For example, we talked about sushi. We talked about food in each other's countries. Sushi is a typical Japanese dish. I love it, and so does my family. However, one of them could not eat raw fish, so she ate rice and fried chicken instead. I was happy that she found some Japanese food she liked. One of them could, the other girl tried sushi for the first time, and she was very pleased with the taste. Seeing her face made me happy too. When I talked with these girls for the first time, I was surprised that their English was as good as native speakers. I have been taking English classes since the 6th grade of elementary school, but to be honest, I cannot speak much. I asked them why they were so good at foreign languages. Then I was even more surprised to hear that they study not only English, but also some other languages at school, such as Spanish, French, and Latin. Talking about our cultures, I could see a lot of differences, and I became very interested in them. However, we had one thing in common: K-pop, Blackpink, Stray Kids. It was nice to be able to talk about the same thing we had. I felt that the only people I would ever talk to from overseas would be foreign English teachers at school. I was very nervous about whether my English would be okay and what I could do to make them happy. But playing games and eating my grandmother's okonomiyaki, dessert was delicious, was a lot of fun, and once in a lifetime experience. On the last day of the homestay, about 20 Japanese and German high school students got together. One of the Japanese high school students asked the question, "What do you think about restarting nuclear power plants?" I was surprised by this question. As a person who was involved in the nuclear power plant accident, I had of course learned about the nuclear power plant. But I had not thought very deeply about it. They said that then 3 German high school students answered this question. All of them were against the restart of nuclear power plant. They said that after such a serious nuclear accident, it was unthinkable to restart nuclear power plant. But the same thing could happen again. I agree with them and thought that it should never be repeated. But why? Why are high school students in Germany who have not experienced a nuclear accident thinking so deeply about it? Why can these girls be so serious, even though they are so far away from Fukushima? How is it that they know more about the nuclear accident than me? I was shocked to see German high school students thinking so deeply about the nuclear accident. I don't remember much from the accident, but I was one of the victims of the nuclear accident. It made me think more about energy. Through this experience, I became interested in international culture and energy. And I strongly wanted to go to Germany. However, I never thought that I would be able to go to Germany so soon. During my stay in Germany, I will give a speech about Fukushima, and I would like to chat with many people. I would like to ask about renewable energy in Germany. In particular, how can Germany generate enough electricity without nuclear power? Also, why are Germans so supportive of renewable energy despite all the costs and weather effects? Just as I did when I hosted German high school students in Japan, I would like to experience different cultures in Germany and broaden my horizons more and more. I believe that this will be a necessary turn point for my future life. Vielen Dank.
ありがとうございました、皆さん。高校知らずのスピーチで、残された時間少しですけど、質疑応答とかに答えれたらいいなと思ってます。
Vielen Dank fürs Zuhören. Wenn Sie vielleicht eine Frage oder mehrere Fragen haben,
Yeah, I have a question. So in 2025, can you actually eat apple in Fukushima?
もう片人。
Who was it with the ringo and apple?
2015年になった今、福島のリンゴは食べれますか？
はい、全然食べれます。
お茶屋さんでした。
ただ2011年とか震災直後は放射能が出たので、すごく大変でした。で、2013年とか14年になると出なくなっていったんだけど、出た時のがあるからすごい不安で売れなくなった時期があって、いろんなグラデーションがあります、福島のリンゴに。今は福島のリンゴで売られてるやつで放射能が出ることはほぼありません。
Es gab Strahlung schon in 2011 und danach auch, aber schon in 2014, 15, es gab keine Strahlung mehr. Aber die Leute wussten, es gibt Strahlung von den Sachen aus Fukushima, deswegen wollten sie auch nicht. Deswegen, es war sehr schwierig. Ja.
Aber danach nicht mehr. Ja.
今でも、福島のリンゴは日本中売っていますか？
売ってます。
そう、ああ、いいね。
福島のリンゴはとても美味しいです。あ、リンゴ、ない。他何かありますか？聞きたい。感想でもいい。
So about the glass batch, how does it look and what does it do? グラスバッジはどんな見た目で何をするんですか？
グラスバッジつけてた人。エブバディだ。エブバディだ。スピーチで入ってるの誰かな？グラスバッジ。
放射線量を測るものです。
Also es ist so groß und das kann man in meinem Pocket haben oder auch so eine kleine Tasche. Wir haben auch das bekommen und immer auf dem Hals so gehabt. Und das
Wichtig ist kumulativ. Nicht in dem Moment, sondern den ganzen Tag, wie viel die strahlt wurde und das kumulativ addiert.
Okay. Das heißt, wie viel Strahlung man ausgesetzt wird.
Dann steht eine Zahl da drauf oder ist das?
Nee, danach sammeln wir das alles zusammen in der Klasse und das schicken wir zu dem, wo das alles macht. Und dann schicken wir Forschung nachträglich zurück.
じゃあ、それが子供のためじゃなくて、放射能の経済の研究のため。
ここは何とも言えない。何とも言えないですよね。
健康のためって言われてましたけど。
Meine Frage war, ob es dann nicht für Kinder, sondern eher für Forschung. Meine Frage ist eher schwer zu schätzen.
普通持ってる線量計が空間線量計を測って放射の高いレベルでピーピーピーピーピーピーってなる線量計があります。でもう一つはそれは1時間あたり何マイクロシーベルで測るやつなんですけど、もう一個はそれを累積したのを測るやつ。つまり1マイクロシーベルトのところに1日いたら24マイクロシーベルトになるじゃないですか。1日だと24になってるんですよ。2日目で48になってる。1マイクロシーベルトのところずっといたらね。という累積線量計と空間線量計というのがあるんですけど、この累積線量計みたいなものなんだけど、その数字が子供たちには見えないんですよ。で、1ヶ月ぐらい持ってて、福島大学が預かって、あなたは何マイクロシーベルト被爆してますっていうのが分かるんだけど、どこが高かったのか分からないから、防ぐのが難しくなってくるんだと。だから、放射線レベル高い、これぐらいの人は、甲状腺がんになるとかならないとかいう統計を取るためにやってるんじゃない？子供を守るためだったら、高いところにいた大人のやつにしてほしいのにっていうふうな保護者はいっぱいいました、当時。
Also die Grasbatsch was nämlich für die Gesundheit für die Kinder, aber wenn es für die Kinder, also Gesundheit, wenn es für die Gesundheit hätte, dann könnten sie auch so machen, dass wenn die Kinder in eine hohe Strahlung Bezirk geht, dann gibt man oder solche Sachen, aber das hatten wir nicht und ja, deswegen gibt es schon
Do you use it still? Just boxing.
今持ってる人いる？今つけてる人いない。多分ね、今でも希望すればつけれると思いますよ。けど、もう結局測ってても、その結果だけ来てるけど、防ぎようないから、つけなくなっていってるっていうのがありますね。どんどんつけなくなっていった。
I have one more question, if it's okay. So, if you lose your house due to the tsunami or the earthquake, does the Japanese government pay for the rent for the new place, or do you have to pay it by yourself?
これ、今、英語の質問が分かった人、分からない人。じゃあ、お願いします。
地震とか津波で家が崩れちゃったときに、日本の政府が家を建て直したり、またリフォームしたり、そういうお金を出すんですか？それとも自分たちでお金を出さないといけないんですか？
みんな知ってるこれが正しいと思う知ってる人。みんな間違ってもいいからね。
So does Japan pay or your parents the new place?
Insurance pays.
And insurance. Okay.
Our insurance.
Mm-hmm.
It's not must, but like a lot of people have it. Like especially after the great earthquake in Japan in 2011. Yeah, it pays. But it depends. So if they don't have the insurance, like of course, like you need to pay. Or like government might help, but like it's not all. Yeah, it's not all covered.
これちょっと難しい答えが一つあるんですけど、基本的に地震とか津波とかで壊れた家は政府が直すことはないですね。自分で直さなきゃいけない。だから保険入ってる人は保険出るけど、あと、保証が全壊した場合これぐらい出るとか、半壊した場合これぐらい出る基準はあるので、全額じゃないけど、保証も多少出ます。ガバメントからね。けど、全額は出ない、もちろんね。
This is what I said right now.
それで、その中で原子力発電所の事故によっての保証というのは非常に難しくて、原子力発電所から30キロ以内に住んでた人はもうそこに住めなくなったので、みんなの家の保証がされます。放射能の影響で。
So the people who lived near to the power plant accident, the power plant, like within 30 kilometers who lived in there, they couldn't live there anymore. So like government paid.
Yeah.
For them.
ただ、30キロ以内に住んでいるところも、津波の影響で2011年に流された家は保証されます。
But even like if you lived in this 30 kilometer circle, even if you lived there, but like your house was thrown by tsunami, this wasn't covered.
津波は3月11日で原発事故3月12日なんで、東電が保証するのは3月12日の時点で家があった人なんです。ただ、これはちょっと難しくて、津波でドーンと流されるんだけど、家流された人と、骨組みは残ってるけど、屋根とか骨組み残ってるけど、もう1回も2回も全部流された人とか、いろいろいるんですよ。けど、上空写真で撮って残ってたら出てました、保証。難しいですけどね。そこまで。
So like tsunami came on 11th March in 2011, and then the accident was on 12th March. And then like after the tsunami, like there's a lot of situation depending on each houses, which is like if your house was still there, just was like this, without no walls, anything. But like if you can see your house from the sky, like with the videos or anything, then like you're covered. But then if you can't see it from the sky, like it's not covered.
これはちょっと難しいですね。いっぱいいっぱい住民同士でもすごいなんか揉めましたね、いっぱい。他ありますか？せっかく。
震災から14年でいろいろテレビとか、YouTube とか見てたんですけど、今、福島の特に原発に近いところで、新しい駅ができたり、新しい街ができている映像を見て、そういう場所に実際に人はもう戻ってきてるんですか？それとも、物だけ作っているんですかっていう質問ですけど、これは
分かる人がいれば、とか、この間、誰か高校サミットで僕を言った人もいれば、そのことでもいいけど。誰かいますか？分からない人。
高校生サミットで、大熊町を訪れたんですけど、でもそれは車で訪れたんですけど、私が見た限りでは、人はいなくて、なんかゴーストタウンみたいな感じだったので、その原発津波震災が起こる前の震災が起こる前にした住民の数よりは、まだ全然戻ってないと思います。
Like real quick, the question was like, the area which was suffered from the nuclear accident, like the restriction is not there anymore, and then like the government start building stations, like a lot of those like things, so that people can live normally. But like she was asking, are there more people now after like the vet station and everything, or like it's not? And then she said it's not actually. Yeah, there are few people living there, but like not as many as before.
何一言。
なんか駅の近くはめっちゃ綺麗だったけど、そのすぐ近くの家とかはもう庭もめっちゃ荒れてて入れる家って感じじゃなくて、住めない。
So like they made a really new and nice station, but like next to the station there's this old broken house, which is really fucked up conditions. Yeah.
その個人の土地とかはまだ全然手つかずという感じ。
フェンスで覆われてて、中にも入れない。
これは国の政策ですね。ガバメントの。まあ、プロパガンダと言ったら言い過ぎだけど、プロパガンダですね。そうですね。原子力発電所の事故が起きて、チェルノブイリはもう住めなくなってる町なんですよ。で、福島は復興させるって言っていて、いわゆるメルトダウンしたやつもコンクリートで埋めずに、あれを全部取り出すって言っていて、あと20年後、30年後に全部取り出す予定なんですけど、まだ 0. 何グラムしか取り出せないんですよ。あそこに落ちた放射性物質ね。本当に全部取り出せるかどうか不安でしょうがないんだけど、元に戻すということが、これから先、原発事故起きても、町は元に戻るということをアドバルーンとしてあげないと、新しい原発を作ったりとか、再稼働するときの障害になるので、原発事故起きたけど、確実に復興していってますよということを、東京電力さんとか、経済産業省さんは、ごめんね、経済産業省さん、そういうことをやっているようなイメージがあります。だから、大熊町とか双葉町とかで大変な町になってるんだけど、そこでも、その町としても復興できない もうできますよ。できるかもしれない。けど、その中の一部に、双葉町の中に、リトル双葉っていうのを作って、そこの中にすごい除染をして、きれいにして、ちょっとその周りは全然除染されてないんだけど、ここに、小学校とか子供とか学校とかコンビニとかいっぱい入れ込んでしまって、双葉町も元気になり始めている町がありますよっていうところを見せることによって、住めなくなった町が住み始めてるんだっていう、とは僕は思わないですけど、いろんなことが思惑としてあるんでしょうね。難しいなと思います、僕も。
今、皆さんどこに住んでいるんですか？
福島広いですか？
福島市に住んでる。
福島市？やっぱり。
その地図持ってきた人いる？他どこ住んでるの？
福島市です。
伊達市です。
福島市です。
福島市です。
郡山市です。
福島市です。
福島県っていう県がもう非常に広いんですよ、国自体が。
県ですか？
そう。で、県で言うと、海沿いの、これが福島県の地図ですね。で、こちらにパシフィックがあります。太平洋が。で、海に面しているのを浜通り地域って言います。砂浜の浜通り地域。で、真ん中を中通りって言って、こちらを会津地方って言います。浜中会津って分かれてるんです。で、原子力発電所はここにあったら双葉町にあったので、ここの近くがすごく大変なダメージを受けているのと、この北西方向にちょっと流れたので、この飯舘村とかこの辺も放射能が高くなっていって、で、中通りも結構放射能降ったんですけど、会津地方ほどの降ってない。だから、ほとんど降ってないところの農作物も風評被害に遭ってるから、ここの人たちも苦しいんだ。放射能出ないのに。で、この辺の人たち実際放射能出るから大変で家に帰れなくなってる人たちもいるから、いろんな、福島の中でもグラデーションがあるので。
福島県ですね。
プリフィクチャー、いや。
福島市。
シティはここですね。
OK。
福島市と郡山市にいっぱい住んでる人たちが多いですね、今ね。福島県。それはどちらとも中通りってやつです。なんとなくそんな感じです。
原発の近くっていうのは、今はもう住もうと思ったら住める状態なんですか？
さっき言ったように、
その除染したところだけですか？でも除染してるのが周りとか近くにあった。
そのね、リトル双葉とかリトル浪江とかいうところの中には、もう徹底的に企業も入れて、そこに新しい住民を入れて、その住民が帰ってこないから、新しい人を仕事で働ける町、給料高いからここで働けませんかっていう人を作って、住民の数を形上多く見せようとしているのは、すごい気持ち悪いけど、ある意味、復興へ向けて、すいませんね、福島県庁の人見てたら、ある意味、皆さん頑張ってるんですけど、YouTube ライブ配信されてるから、僕も気遣ってるふりしてるんですけど、すごい難しいですけど、人が住み始めてる町の中の人が住みてる地域があり、そこに小学校、中学校、幼稚園が全部詰め込んでいるので、前までだったら双葉町に6つか7つの小学校あって、中学校も4つか5つあって、高校も1つか2つあって、みたいな感じだったけど、それはもう一個のビュッと福島、その双葉町の中のこの地域に、すべての小学校、中学校、幼稚園、郵便局を入れてるという感じです。で、復興しているように見せかけてるわけじゃないです。復興し始めているはずですよね。そういうことです。
英語で説明してください。
あ、本当だね。そう。
Kind of like his opinion. It looks like a propaganda. Like in this area, like it is so big, but like it is as this town called Futaba-machi, and then like they make little Futaba in Futaba-machi, and then like this area they make everything clean, and they build new stations, they build new convenience stores, new supermarket, new everything, and then like they make jobs so that like a lot of people can come here and then like put it there, and then like they make these jobs the higher is more higher salary, so that like people can come, and then they call it recover. But like the question is if it's like we recover or like just showing that it is recovering.
あくまでもこれは僕の考えなので、そうじゃない。そうそうそう。実際は、どんどん街が復興してきてよかったと思ってる人たちもいるだろうし、なんかもうこれじゃ自分の家に帰れなくて、あそこの鈴木さんちの周りで綺麗になってと思ってる人たちもいるだろうし、いろんな人たちがいる中での、僕はそう思うっていう考えです。
Maybe there must be a lot of people like who are happy, who are unhappy about it, or like it depends where they live now or like where they lived before. And yeah, it depends on their situation.
半年前にクルーザーに乗って大きな旅客豪華客船で宮崎に来てくれてやったお二人なんですよ。ぜひ次回は福島行きましょう。
いいですか？さっきの質問に付け加えるっていうかあるんですけど、なんかって言われてるって話なんですけど、その大熊町だったり双葉町の人たちはその原発事故によって住めないから出ていかなきゃいけなくて、なんか今までで1億ぐらいもらってる人たちもいて、そういう人たちは一回他のところに住んでるんですけど今で、なんかもし戻ってきたらなんかもうちょっとお金あげるよみたいなことは言われていて、でももうその人たちって今1億ぐらい持ってたら別にわざわざもう荒れ果てたっていうか、そういう地域に田舎の地域に戻んなくてもそのぐらいお金があればもうちょっと他の県とか便利なところでいい生活をした方がいいって思ってる人たちが多いから、あんまり戻ってこないって言われて。
戻ってこない。
1億円の保証金をもらってる。
多分っていうか、そんなもらって言われ、そんぐらいもらってるって言ってるらしい。Like what she knows about it, about like people coming back to this area which was closed. Like they got plenty of money from the government, from the power plant company, and like because they got a lot of money from them after the accident, like they're still said like they can get even much more money when they come back to the city, but like they don't want to come back because there's nothing around that. And then like it's much better if you live in a city like which is more like convenient and there's people. It's like it's a little difficult situation right now there.
Why does the power company want people to come back? Why do they care? Why does this company, the power company, why do they want people to come back to Fukushima, to this area? Like, why do they care?
Because they want to show like in a Chernobyl, like found out about in Chernobyl, like they said after the accident, it's the town, nobody can live anymore. But like Fukushima wants to make it, or like the government, Japanese politics, they want to make the town livable again, so that like they can make many more power plants.
Okay.
東電ですか？は人々に町に戻ってきてほしいって思ってるんですか？質問。
なんでだと思う？
もし戻ってきてくれれば、今までやったその原発事故がなくなったっていうか忘れられるとかじゃないけど、なんかもし戻ってきてくれれば、なんていうんだろう、人がいなかったけど、いっぱい戻ってくれば、
もう大丈夫だよみたいな服をしてきてるよっていうのを見せられる方が。
他ありますか？なんか。いいですか？そういうこと言ったよね。
はい。So she thinks in the same way.
質問じゃなくて、まあ、ちょっと意見みたいになるんですか。日本語で。じゃあ、最初に。まあ、私、長くドイツに住んでて、ちょうどその、地震とか、それから津波とか、原発事故が起こった時も、ずっともう、ドイツでものすごい大きなトップニュースにもちろんなってたんですよね。で、毎日のようにまあ、福島のことも報じられていて、で、ドイツ側としては、なんで日本政府や東電が事実を言わないんだっていうことをすごくみんなイライラしていて、で、ドイツのもうそういう専門家、原子力発電所とかそういうことの専門家の人はもうこうなってこうなってこうなってるってことは絶対にもう大きな事故になっているはず、チェルノブイリと変わらないようなことが起こっているはずなのに、日本側はなぜそれを認めない、東電はなんでそれを正直に言わない、日本政府もなんでそれで言わないっていうことによって、ものすごく逆に日本のイメージダウン、それから日本政府ってもっとちゃんとオープンにいろんなことを情報提供する、そういうところだと思っていたので、それじゃあ、その共産主義の国とか東側みたいに、なんかこう、情報をこうセーブしちゃってるみたいな感じで、なんかものすごいこうイメージダウンになったんですね。で、それすることによって、なんか逆にこう、まあ、こちら側のドイツ側の人たちが日本に対する、まあ、なんていうかな、イメージダウンプラス、もう日本一危ない、怖い、ものすごいその風評っていうか、そういうふうなものがバーって広がっちゃって、それでもう、とにかく東京にあるドイツのオフィスとか、いろんなものがもう全部東京から撤収して、西側の方、大阪とか、こっちの方に全部オフィス移したりとか、して大変なことになったし、東京にあるドイツ学園ももう閉校みたいな感じになったりとか、一時休校みたいな感じ。もう大変な騒ぎになってて、もう東京も危ないんじゃないか感じで、私たち夫婦もその春に日本行こうと思ったんですけど、もうドイツ人側から東京まで行かないでくれ、お前たちは死にたいのか、そこまで言われたんですよね。もう日本に飛んだらこれ自殺行為だぐらいまで、皆さんそれぐらいこうとんでもないところみたいなイメージだったので、もうそんな中でやっぱりこう皆さんが今はこうなんだよとか、自分たちがこういうふうなことをして目に遭ってきたとか、今こういうふうに復興してきてるっていう事実を語っていただけるっていうのは非常に嬉しいことだし、もうぜひぜひそれをどんどんどんどんこれからも大いにやっていっていただきたいし、そうすることによってまたやっぱり事実をちゃんと語ってくれる若者がいるっていうことはすごく私も嬉しいし、私もあまり日本側のことを悪くは言いたくないし、自分もある意味で、若干日本政府からのお給料もいただいた人間なので、あんまり日本政府のこと悪く言いたくないんだけど、あの時は非常に恥ずかしかった。だからもう皆さんがこれからを担う世代として本当に頑張って福島のこととか事実を伝えていっていただきたいし、大いに自分の意見をそこで言っていただけたら、今日はだから皆さんの聞いてとても嬉しかったです。はい。Also ich habe so lange etwa in Deutschland gewohnt, ne? Und ich habe natürlich also diese Nachrichten damals, das war 14 Jahre, alles mitbekommen. Ne? Und viele haben doch in Deutschland doch gedacht, warum sagt die japanische Regierung nicht die Wahrheit sagen? Und diese Firma, diese Power, genau, Tepco hat die ganze Wahrheit gesagt. Ne? Dann natürlich viele haben so schlechte Image oder wie sagt man da? Genau, ja, oder überhaupt die Japan so. Ne? Da viele haben, oh nein, danke, jetzt einfach so die japanischen Produkte oder nach Japan zu der Reise, oh, das ist ja gefährlich, so, ne? Da viele haben abgesagt.
Du hast gerade gesagt, selbst die deutsche Schule in Tokio ist umgezogen, oder?
Ja, alles zum Beispiel ALD 東京 so Office, so auch in Osaka immer umgezogen. Ne? So viele so Firmen, also deutsche Firmen sind einfach
Nach
Osaka,
Westen
viele war so empfindlich. Und
so große Angst, aber die sind halt geblieben.
So, genau, also Tokio ist schon sehr gefährlich. Und
wir wollten nach Japan fliegen in dem Jahr und die Bekannten haben gesagt, was, ihr seid ja verrückt, nach Japan zu fliegen. Ich glaube, wir haben es trotzdem gemacht, oder? Oder ein Jahr später oder ein Jahr später.
Also, wirklich. Und viele, also sowieso Lufthansa ist nicht direkt nach Japan geflogen. Ne? Ja, genau. Ja, so einfach viele immer so reagiert. So, ne? So. Ja, aber jetzt einfach so, ich habe gelobt, einfach die jungen Leute jetzt einfach so, ja, alles einfach Wahrheit zu sagen und eigene Meinung zu sagen, das ist sehr wichtig, ne? Ja, die nächste Generation, so, ja, so würde ich sagen.
じゃあ時間になったので終わっていこうと思いますが、ちょっと急遽今日会場化していただいたJDZB の、方にも一言いいですか、高校生たちに。
Danke für die Platz für uns abgelehnt haben. Und wenn Sie vielleicht eine Kommentar für die Schülerinnen haben.
Yeah, so it was very interesting to see, and we're really happy to have you here. I think it's very interesting to see how much the students really are interested in these topics and how much they've learned already. I think it would also be interesting, I was actually thinking about asking what they learned now in Germany or what they like about visiting Germany. And I hope that in the future we can have maybe more collaboration and to spread the word. It's very impressive what you're doing.
Okay. まずスピーチしてくれてありがとうございました。すごい感動して、みんながどれだけこのトピックについて興味関心を持って、いろいろ作ったりで、文化がすごいなと思いましたって。で、一つ聞きたいことがあったのは、ドイツに来て何が楽しかったりとか、あと何に興味を持ちましたかっていうことです。でその後、もっとこれから先、コラボを一緒にしていきましょうって。
ドイツでなんか楽しかったこと、まだ3日しか過ごしてないので、少ないですけど。
dritte Tag in Deutschland, deswegen. Aber
Jetlag.
いい思い出は楽しかったことなんかあれば。
なんかドイツのお城の中に歴史博物館みたいなのがあるところに行ったのと、ホストファミリーのこのバドミントンクラブでおじいちゃんのメンバーの人とか人と試合をしたことです。
Sie haben Gastfamilie in Duisburg und in Duisburg ist sie mit ihrer Gastfamilie im Burg besucht. Ja. Und es gab ein Museum im Burg und das war sehr interessant für sie. Auch sie hat mit ihrer Gastfamilie Federball gespielt. Das war sehr Spaß. Ja.
楽しかったっていうより驚いたことなんですけど、昨日学校に行ってドイツの授業を受けたときに物理学だったんですけど、その内容はドイツ語で全然わからなかったけど、その日本の授業みたいにみんな黙って先生が書いたやつを写すだけじゃなくて、その先生の話してることに疑問を持ったらすぐ手を挙げて質問するし、その自分の意見を一人一人持っててすごいなって思いました。
Sie hat ein Physikunterricht teilgenommen gestern bei einem Gymnasium und sie war sehr überraschend, wie die deutschen Schüler und Schülerinnen so ihre Meinung äußern und Fragen stellen und solche Sachen. Also die Kommunikation im Unterricht weil in Japan gibt es keine Kommunikation im Unterricht und die Lehrer schreiben nur einfach auf der Tafel und die Schülerinnen schreiben auf dem Heft. Ja, das war sehr different.
まあ、ドイツの授業に驚いたって言ってましたけど、僕が一番驚いたのは、英語が一番彼女が苦手なんです、この中でね。その中で頑張って、すごいスピーチも頑張って、いい感じで仕上がってきてるんですけど、やっぱりホームステイ先とかで英語のコミュニケーションすごい苦労してるんだろうなっていうふうに思っています。で、昨日その授業を受けた後に、もうダウンして、倒れて、動けなくなって、僕のホテルで6時間ぐらい寝て、なんとか復活したので今日来れてるんですけど、本当来れるかどうか昨日分からなかったので、来れてよかったなっていうのと、倒れて僕はびっくりしました。
Also, was sich Sorge gemacht hat, ist sie nach dem Unterricht einfach zu müde geworden und auch sie hatte ein bisschen Magenschmerzen. Deswegen müsste sie im Hotel bleiben und da schlafen für 5 Stunden oder so. Und nachdem wir wissen nicht, ob sie vielleicht heute nicht fahren können oder so. Und am Ende sie konnte hier fahren, deswegen wir sind alle glücklich.
とりあえず今日来れてよかった、本当に。いいですか、もう。大丈夫ですか。じゃあちょっと今日時間過ぎましたけど、今日は長い時間いていただき、感想もいろいろ質問を寄せていただいて、ありがとうございました。どうも。あと、もともとお借りできる予定じゃなかった、この JDZB の会場を貸していただいた方にも拍手をしたいな。ありがとうございます。最後にもう一度、高校生たちに大きな拍手を与えていただきます。はい。じゃあ、ちょっと片付けて終わりますけど、この後食事とかも行くので、もし行ける人がいたら一緒にしてもいいし、行けなければ、いろいろまたとお話して、パッと行きたいと思います。ダンケシュ。
うちにお菓子もあるので。